Welcome
Welcome.
to a noble society of young urban entrepreneurs sharing knowledge and building wealth. Welcome to the League of Hustlers.
The hustle is in your bones. It runs through your veins. It's that ambition to do more, become more. You can feel it. You know you have what it takes. You know you can build a life you've been dreaming of. It's time you live up to your potential. Welcome to the League of Hustlers.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the League of Hustlers. I'm your co-host, C.D. Barnes.
And I'm HT.
Yeah, and we are the League of Hustlers.
Indeed.
Pull up a seat. Let's get to it. You already know what this is. All right, podcast for sharing knowledge and building wealth. First things first, whatever platform you're on, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. All right, make sure you share, leave some comments, let us know how we're doing. Thanks to everybody for being here.
For sure.
What would the league be without you? All right, we got a special episode, but before we get into that, we gotta do the hustler salute.
Yeah,
Gotta
man.
do the hustler salute. Who we got for this episode, H?
Yeah, man. So for this episode, we want to give a major shout out, a major hustler salute to the Black Man Can. All right, look him up on Instagram, the Black Man Can. Look him up on Facebook, everywhere. And basically, it's a nonprofit that highlights positive images of African American folks. Right? So many negative images out there. They're pushing a positive narrative. They're telling these positive stories about the excellent work that's going on in your community. So check them out. The Black Man Can is some really dope stuff. They also have like some shirts and a merch line too. So definitely check them out. Right. And yeah, man, y'all keep up the good work. We salute y'all. We appreciate y'all. Keep going strong. Keep putting on for the squad. All right?
Yeah.
Right along those lines, we want to jump right into the episode. But before we do, we want to remind you to share, like, rate, subscribe, all that stuff, okay? But getting right into the episode. Today, we want to talk about something that's you know, I guess kind of cliche, right? You always hear people say you want to work smarter, not harder, right? You want to You want to, you know, work smarter, not harder, right? It's the main thing that people say, right? But what we want to say that you should be an intelligent hustler. Okay? It's not enough just to work harder, right? And it's also not enough to just work smarter. All right? Because what could end up happening is that you could end up hustling backwards. All right?
Don't want to hustle backwards.
For sure. That's the last thing you want to do, bro, right? If you're doing the wrong thing and you're working harder at it,
right,
that doesn't make sense. Okay? If you're doing the wrong thing and you're hustling, you're working harder at it, it doesn't make sense. This is what we call hustling backwards. You do not want to hustle backwards. All right? Just keep that in mind. Do not hustle backwards.
You want to avoid that as much as possible. Imagine going on a road trip and you trying to get there as fast as you can.
Yeah.
So you take off and you going, you know, you hitting it. You know, you're doing 80, 90, 100, 120.
You know, get there.
You're going to get there. Like, you got to be there now. And then you realize hours later that you've been going the wrong direction.
Wow.
That's hustling backwards. All right, you want to avoid that. And that's what we're talking about today, man. Being an intelligent hustler. You want to get those miles in and you want to get them in fast. And you want to, you know, really be on your grind. But you got to do the necessary work to make sure you're heading in the right direction from the beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So do not hustle backwards. Whatever you do, do not hustle backwards.
Hey, what's
Okay.
a good example of that? You got another
So
example of hustling backwards?
yeah, man. Like so. For instance, Blockbuster, right? When Blockbuster got the news that I think Redbox was first, right? Redbox came. It was
Okay.
like a
Okay.
major competitor for Blockbuster. And what did Blockbuster do? They didn't iterate. They didn't switch and pivot and change their business model to kind of tap into what Redbox was doing. And then right after Redbox, you had Netflix coming down the pipeline too. But Blockbuster, huge company, big company, well known, like brand recognition, everything. They had the resources to do it, right? Netflix came out with the streaming, Redbox came out with the DVDs, right? Blockbuster already had DVDs, right, bro? So
They did. They had a little play similar.
right. Redbox, if you don't know, Redbox was like the machines, like a vending machine for
Right.
movies. What Blockbuster did, they doubled down on their traditional brick and mortar model. Okay, they did not pivot into creating these vending machines that could pump out DVDs. So what happened? Redbox basically put them out of business. But then Redbox should have been smart too, and they should have saw the same thing happening coming up behind them with Netflix, right?
Writings on the wall.
Netflix was right on their heels. And they did the same thing. They doubled down on their traditional model of having vending machine movies, right? But Netflix came and said, nah, you know what? We're going to scratch the brick and mortar. You know, we're going to scratch the retail stores. We're going to scratch the vending machines for DVDs. We're going to just bring it straight to your house without any physical product. We're going to stream it straight into your home. Okay, so what...
Right.
The key to this, though, in terms of the low key point about not hustling backwards, is if Blockbuster had seen what was happening, right, and had that foresight, and instead of going harder at the brick and mortar model, if they had a switch and said, you know what, we're gonna hustle over into this new space. Yes, difficult. Yes, we don't really know much about it, but we have to at least try it out. We have to at least plant those roots. Okay. There's no telling. They would definitely. I think they would definitely still be around today.
At least be around, you know?
Exactly.
At least.
Right.
Which, that's a perfect segue into the next point,
Yeah.
which is you need to be a student. Like, it doesn't matter what level you're at in whatever industry, whatever. If you're already successful, you've made it to the top, you should remain a student to some degree the entire course of your career, of your entrepreneurial journey, of whatever it is you're vesting your time is. You need to be a student of that. You need to be, and what does that mean? Like, just continuously learning. Find a mentor, find somebody to model yourself after. There's always somebody better than you. Don't get, stagnant with just, okay, I made it, I'm here. You need to continuously learn more. You don't know everything. You need to continuously be learning about your industry, about your profession. How can you better yourself? How can you better your business? How can you be more effective with your marketing? How can you, there's tons of stuff.
So much stuff.
And with that concept is how, industries change and iterate to the next best thing. Just like the last example H just gave with the whole, I clearly remember going to rent, VHS and DVDs, and that's over with. That's
so
done.
Many times.
And that's what you need to do. And that's where you also find that next big idea will come from being a student.
Right.
Right.
And to piggyback on your point, bro, when you see, we got to take in consideration that times change, technology changes. Like, stuff is always new. Like, stuff is always coming out. Like, especially with technology. If you're in an industry that's using technology, you better really be on your toes, because it's changing so rapidly. And through this change and through these new business models comes opportunity. So you got to be especially knowledgeable. You have to stay studied up. You have to forever be a student.
Stay studied up out here.
You know what I mean? Yo, do you remember? You remember we were in a summer program together. It's called HCOP. You remember one of the instructors she was like 81 years old, no lie. 81 years old, and she had just finished her doctorate.
Right.
At 81 years old, you remember that?
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there in the class like, dang, like, what was the point of like?
Right. It's like, why? Why would you do that?
Right. But like, I get it now. I get it.
Yeah.
It's a personal goal. She's staying studied up, and she's still active. She's still, in the community. She's teaching us in one of these classes, right? And so she was staying abreast of the new information that's coming out. So stay studied up. Always be a student.
And with that, even with that example, because even if, let's say, she's not the person to implement the next iteration in the industry, she could be the person that has the idea and is able to transfer that information to someone else or inspire someone else. So take yourself out of it sometimes. With being a student, it may not be solely about you. You may need to enhance your group, your profession, your industry. It could even just be your family, period.
Hey,
but
yeah, hey, that's legacy. That's what we call legacy right there.
That's legacy.
That's some next level stuff.
Absolutely.
That's next level.
What's the next key point?
So the last key point with this is for you, okay? Now understand this and think about this. This is where it like the magic is made, right? So once you're a student, so number one, okay, you understand that you're not hustling backwards. You understand that you're on the right path. Number two, you understand that you need to learn more. You understand that you need to study more. Okay? The third point that we want to focus on here is that now that you know what to do, double down on it. This is where the harder comes in at. Okay? And we need to do an episode about I think we talked about this too, like about choosing the right teachers, right, that you're learning under. Okay, we're saying to always be a student. We need to do an episode about choosing the right teachers, right? But once you figure out that you're on the right path, now you double down. Now you dig deeper. Now you work harder. Now you put those extra reps in, right? It's like working out. Once you know the right technique, okay, now you start going harder at it. Now you get those extra reps in, okay? But what you don't want to do, okay, is use the wrong techniques. What you don't want to do, right, is not study on how to get better at the technique that you're using, okay? But once you know that you're using the right techniques, once you know that you're learning it the right way, now you double down, now you go harder. Okay, so we're working smarter and we're working harder. We're not just working smarter, we're doubling down. This is a league of hustlers, man. What are you talking about? Right?
And that's how you really accelerate growth right there. If you want to know how to like fast track success, that is the way. There's a quote where they say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
There you go.
Something to that effect. But imagine when you have talent and you work hard. You see? And that's kind of what you're aiming for with this. You arm yourself with the correct information. You arm yourself with, the tools that you need. And then you apply that hustle to it. You got that extra step.
Give them an example.
An example of this. Oh man, a good example of this is I gotta go to sports with this. But just imagine, you're a basketball player or whatever, any sport. But for the sake of it, basketball player. All right? And you work out by yourself. You shoot your shot, you shoot 100, jump shots or 1,000, whatever the metric is. You're shooting your shot. Right. You don't have a good coach. But then you get yourself a great coach, one that is well known for improving players' jump shots. And he's letting you know, hey, you got a great shot. You're just missing this one key detail. You know,
Right.
you need to put a little bit more arch in your wrist, or put a little more rotation on the ball. Now that you have the proper information, you can double down on your efforts in the gym. Now you can take that 100, 1,000 shots a day, and you can even go further than that now, because your work and the information together is going to put you a step ahead of your competition. Now you're armed with everything you need to be successful.
That's dope, man. A real life example, I would say it's like a Kobe or like a MJ.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or like
that
a
is
Steph Curry.
Epitome of that. Look, exactly like a Kobe. Talent and hard working.
Woo!
And there you go.
And if you don't know about Kobe, man, yeah, just look him up and just look up Kobe's work ethic, right? Doing it the right way. Look up Jordan's work ethic. Doing it the right way. I read somewhere that Jordan would shoot 500 shots consecutively. If he shot 499 shots and missed the 500th one, he would start over at 1. He had to drop 500 consecutively. I don't know if that's a myth. I don't know if that's a legend, but it sounds pretty dope, right? It sounds like, regardless, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, because you don't want to. What if you were shooting, 100 shots, right? For example, you shoot 100 shots for practice with bad form, but out of those 100 shots, 10 of them were good form, right? As opposed to having the right knowledge and being a student and learning about it, like, okay, let me figure out the right form, blah, blah, blah. And now, out of those 100 practice shots that you're taking, you shoot 75 of them with the right form. Like, imagine you see what I'm saying? Imagine your what's it called? Your field goal percentage or whatever it's called. Is it called a field goal? I don't know. Imagine your jumper percentage. Right under those metrics. So that's what we want to think. That's the mindset that we want to take. All right. So what's the challenge, man? Let's jump right into it.
You already know, League of Hustlers, man. With every episode, you must walk away here with an actionable item. You must walk away here with something to implement into your life, into your hustle. With this episode, the challenge is to find a way to implement intellect into your hustle, wherever you are right now. Find a way to implement intellect into your hustle. All right. So whatever that means, man, if you need to go out and find a new book, go out.
Okay.
Get that new information. If you need to go find a mentor, if you need to go network with somebody that's a little bit further down that road than you,
right?
Get it done. Go watch some YouTube videos, go do some research, get that next certification, get some information that's going to help you progress in your hustle. And then you'll be able to double down on your efforts. All right? That's it. That's your hustle. That's your challenge.
That's your challenge to hustle up to.
Yeah. Basically, add some intellect to your hustle. Hustle wisely.
Yeah, man. Yeah. As always, do not forget, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you heard something valuable in this episode. Also, make sure you share it if you know someone that could use this information. Stop holding on to it. Stop being selfish. All right? Go ahead and spread this information. Okay, as always, check out leagueofhustlers.com. You can hit us up at questions@leagueofhustlers.com and reach out to us and get at us. And you know how it goes, man. It's the League of Hustlers. Go get it. All right? Never forget it.
Yep.